Today we will talk about one of the very old, very traditional techniques that Oriental brush painters use from ancient times. That is called wet mounting. It's nothing that mysterious. So it's literally to use another piece of paper to get it dry again and stretch. When it's dried, it becomes new again and smooth. And that piece you can go to the shop to get it framed or put it in a silk scroll. So in many Asian countries, you can find those specialists for wet mounting. Artists used to go to the shop and hand over their art piece, and then they will mount, stretch, and even put it in a frame or a silk scroll. However, if you can't find those shops around you, or you just simply want to enjoy to mount your own artworks, and that's what we'll talk about today, is the DIY wet mounting. So you can mount your artwork at home with the simple materials you can find at home. So the first thing we'll talk about is the working surface. So typically you will like a surface that is smooth. Okay, that's the basic requirement. So you can use a wooden board. However, you can also use a glass surface. However, it's because it's so smooth, sometimes the painting, when it's wet, it can be stuck on the surface and not easy to be removed, which can cause damage easily. If both of the materials is not available for you, you can also choose a cutting board you can find in local art supplies. Now we will talk about how to make organic glue with the things you can find in your own kitchen. So traditionally, in the ancient times, people use plain flowers to slow cook them on the fire. However, today I will share with you a more simplified version. Then we will need to use a kettle with boiling water, gluten-free flour. So any gluten-free flour you can find in your local shop. And we will need a bowl with a wider top and also something to stir. You also need some warm water to dilute the flour at first. Okay, that's it. And we're gonna make the glue now. So when we get our kettle boiled, we let it cool down for about 1 minute. At the same time, we'll prepare the flour. 1 cup gluten-free flour. And this will allow you to do a few mountings. Start with 1/2 cup of warm water to dilute the flour first. Gradually add the water and let the flour to dissolve. Now, as you can see, the solution is like a running yogurt, and that means it's ready. And now we will add the boiling water, which has cooled for about 1 minute. And this is a very crucial part. Whether the glue will be smooth, it depends on this process. So I will first add a little hot water just to bring the temperature up. And then more water and stir quickly. And until you can see the glue is getting thicker and thicker. Now we stop adding water and continue to mix. Now the glue become a little bit gray if you see through the light. And this glue, we will let it cool down. And after the glue has made, when it's cool down, you can keep it in a container. Any container you can find at home. And this is a glue I have made a few months ago. I kept it in the fridge. So after the glue has cooled down, you can transfer the extra glue you are not using to a container and then add room temperature water. Make sure it covers the top of the glue. And then just keep the lid on and put in the fridge. The glue will be good for a few months. So next time when you need the glue, you just take it out from the fridge and take the amount that you need. So first I will take an amount of glue. With practice, you will start to understand how much the amount you need. We will add some water into the glue and then start to mix them together. So the glue we use for wet mounting, it doesn't have to be very thick. A glue like this, like a little bit runny, that is sufficient now. Now I will talk about the brushes. So for the traditional wet mounting, typically you need two types of brushes. One is with hard hair, so it's quite resilient. And this is for flattening and tapping the paper on the wall. And the other one is made with soft hair. And all these brushes comes with different sizes. For example, the white one can have as big as, I think this one is 23 centimeters. And this one is a little bit bigger, I think 15. And this one is 12. So for a painting that we do at home, I will choose this is about 12 centimeters. So these two, the bows. Now we will talk about the second step, that is wet and soften the artwork. In this stage, we will need our artwork and also an extra rice paper or xuan paper that is a little bit bigger than your artwork. And to damp your artwork, we also need a spray or a mist maker. So we put the artwork upside down and just put the backing paper over and make sure it covers and how much space you left. And we will make sure the rough side is on the facing the artwork. And then we will roll this paper and put it aside for later. Now we will use the sprayer to spray it over, just like you are going to a sauna room and you want your skin and covered and has the moisture, so you can just laying down on the bench and just relax. So it's the same. Now your artwork is absorbing the moisture and start to soften and relax. So at this stage, we don't have to flatten it. So we just leave the artwork for a minute or two, let it to stretch and absorb the water. Now the third step is to apply the glue. Now we will use this soft brush. The weather is very dry. You may like to apply some water. So use the spray to apply some water in the brush. So it gets softened up. And now the art piece has absorbed with the water. And you can see it's already flattened a little bit. And now to apply the glue, we will dip the brush and tap and flip over for a few times to make sure the glue has mixed and being absorbed in the brush. So we start from the center up and down. And I do this again, left, right. And then the corners. So we do one corner and then the other corner. And after you have done the 2 cross, then we will apply horizontally. So we will go from side to side. And then vertically. And you may also find it takes a long time. So what do? We breathe. We practice our breathing meditation. So we apply the blue. We are aware we are inhale and exhale. And when we apply, we inhale, we exhale. We inhale, brush coming in. We exhale, brush coming out. So in and out, in and out, in, out. Will that feel better? That's more enjoyable, isn't it? After we have applied the glue, we will check the surface. Like the camera, we are looking from the side. So you can turn around your head and looking with the reflection and see if there's any hair from the brush or any dust on the surface. And then I picked it up with a small brush. You may find there's some loose piece of paper, and we take it out. Now, number 4 is to apply the backing paper. If I'm right-handed, I have this hand free and hold the paper. I will use this brown brush to apply the pressure and put down the backing paper. First, if you have damp clouds or a waste rice paper, xuan paper, just go over the edge to wipe clean the glue you may have. So the backing paper won't stuck on the surface later. And now, it's very crucial how much edge we leave for the backing paper. If you have this cutting mat, you can see I have the lines. So I can measure about 2 centimeters where I apply the backing paper. If you don't have this, you can also use a ruler to place a ruler to the place you have left for the edge. And then put the paper at the edge. And the other hand, we will apply pressure. So up and down. First find the edge, up and down, up and down. And then forward and up and down, up and down. And forward again. And we continue. If there's some wrinkles, just lift up the page and do it again. Okay? And gradually, you can see my left hand is still lifting up the page. So let the brush to put it down. And once you finish, and then we will go horizontal and vertical to make sure everywhere of the page has applied the glue. Now we will do number 5. We will apply the glue around the edge on the backing paper before we put it on the wall. Start from the top. And then we brush the glue over the edge. Now, number 6, we will stick a tiny paper strap on the edge that you can use from the left rice paper or xuan paper. So it's about 1 to 2 centimeters. So make sure we leave some paper that is outside the page. So later we will use this part to take out this edge. So outside backing paper and painting. Now, number 7. That is the exciting part. And also, it's the part we really need to be very careful. So take a breath and make sure we are calm and relaxed. We are going to stick the painting on the wall. Just to talk about the surface. So you can use a wooden board or even a door that you can stick the painting on. So here I will stick it on the wall. So make sure your wall has been cleaned. So you use a dry cloth to wipe it over. So make sure there's no dust and it's smooth. Okay, so one corner, I lift the backing paper. So it's very common, the painting may still stick on the surface. That's okay. We can help it. So use the fingertip to lift up and help it lift together with the backing paper. And now I will apply another layer. So this is another layer of xuan paper or kitchen towel and place behind it. And then I will place my brush, so this brown brush. And that's the right hand I will hold. And later I will brush the corner on the wall. So this layer of paper is to prevent when my brush on the page, it will damage the painting because it's right on your artwork. So in this case, I will have another layer between my painting and the brown brush. And the other side, I will pick it up with my hand. Okay? And now you can see it's lifting from the surface. So breathe in and out, keep calm. Slowly, slowly, gently. And once your painting is on the wall, our right hand with the brush firmly and up corner, and then left corner. Now, make sure your painting is straight and fall. You see, if you stick on the wall and just give it a wriggle. So it's naturally fall from the stickiness from the side, from the top side. And now we will go first top down and to the right, to the left, and corner, done. The last step, I call it tap, blow, and leave it to dry. Back again. So now we can see even the painting now is a stick on the wall. However, if you want to make sure it stick on the wall safely, we will do tap around the edge. So we hold the brush like this, like a hammer. We use the flat surface of the brush to tap the edge in the wall. Remember to breathe in and out. So we are tapping the edge into the wall. You don't have to tap it like really hammer it. It's okay. So just to make sure the edge, each part has connection. And remember to breathe in and out. Maybe talk to your neighbor first. And then tap and then we blow. So you can see now the page is very flat. We don't want the painting to be stick on the wall. It won't be easy to take it out later. So what you can do is, remember this pick it up stripe. You can open it and blow some air like this. The painting left the space between the artwork and the wall. It's easy for it to dry too. And make sure to close the gap. Okay, now leave it to dry. So So typically we leave the artwork to dry for about 2 days. If the weather you are living is very damp or is in the raining season, maybe leave it to 3 to 5 days. Make sure it's completely dried. Now I have to wait for about 48 hours to let the painting to dry. To take the painting out of the wall, we will use something that is flat and thin. So here I grabbed a dining knife from the kitchen. Let's try this. So remember this pickup stripe. So we use one hand to put it away from the wall, and then I put the knife inside, go all the way under the painting. And now trying to put the pressure, let the knife pressure against the wall, and then cut it down to one corner first. Okay. And the other hand gently lift the painting. And now goes up to the other two sides. Okay, at the very end, we can take the whole painting off the wall. Ta-da! Now I come back to my working desk, and we are going to cut the painting. So what we need is a ruler and a cutting knife. So I will start with this side. Before I paint this artwork, I have planned to leave about 1 centimeter around the painting. So that gives me the space to cut after the wet mounting and still have some space if I want to mount this painting on a frame. So first I will mark out about 0.5 centimeters. So I will use the cutting knife to mark out, to cut a small mark that's 0.5 centimeter, and also on the other side. So 2 dots make a straight line. Now I will connect the 2 marks I just cut out and hold one hand open up, and then another hand use the knife to cut along the knife. When the knife passing our thumb, then our hand travels down and continue, and then to finish. And then I will cut the other side. Use the one we have already cut as a reference. To do that, we will fold the 2 together. So we don't have to press it down, we just need to make marks. And then on the other side, I will make another mark. And this time, make sure when we cut on the page, we're trying to cut the 2 pages underneath. When we open it, we have 2 dots on this page. And 2 dots, yes, make a line. Now I will cut this side. And now use the same method, we will cut these 2 edges. And now we have the painting ready. Here are a few tips for you. When we mount an artwork, make sure it's not a fresh artwork. Leave it at least for 2 days. So as you can see, mounting, the wet mounting requires time, patience, and so if you are going to do wet mounting, so maybe wait until you have a few art pieces, then you can mount them all together in one process. And make sure you have enough mounting and drawing surface for them. So if you find your painting, your page is very thin and you're afraid to brush on the page, what you can do is you can apply another sheet of paper on top And now you can apply more pressure and give it a few more brush. The artwork you are going to mount contains a lot of red ink. So the Chinese color ink, they are different qualities. So the red ones, they run very easily. And also like the stamp, if it's still fresh or you afraid it will run, what you can do is when you are flip it over, before you apply the glue, apply another layer of raw rice paper, 宣 paper, under the page. So this is where the red flowers is. And I will put another one under the stamp. And then do the same process. So wet mounting is another art. It's like brush painting. It can be very enjoyable and meditative. However, at the very beginning, you may find it very challenging because the skills is very new. So be patient and try a few times. Don't give up at the beginning. Try a few times. If you have any questions, you're very welcome to leave in the comment or contact me through email. Enjoy your wet mounting process and to see your artwork being stretched and ready and put on the wall.